Hello, everyone. Hello. Lots of crazy stuff happening here. Lots of crazy stuff. That's what I could say. Absolutely insane. Cool. There we go. Lots of crazy stuff. I'm hoping that everything's working right for you guys. Everything looks good. Nothing looks too messed up here. A crazy first 24 hours into the new year. And I still got hyper local news still coming across with stuff. But yeah, we do have that reopening of Bourbon Street here very, very soon. I'm actually going to get that prepped here. So Bourbon Street is reopening for those who were unaware. Bourbon Street is reopening. There we go. We'll throw you guys up on the big screen there so we can see your lovely comments here on TikTok. But yeah, lots of stuff that's going on, and we also do have a giant winter storm that's going to bring snow and ice going from pretty much all of Kansas over to Virginia and portions of the Appalachians down into North Carolina and Tennessee. So lots of ice and snow is on the way there for those who were unaware. Again, taking a look over here at Syria, we do have cameras that are down in Syria. We're going to get ready here for the reopening of Bourbon Street, which is set to take place here in about 10 minutes. So we're going to get prepared for that camera shot as well. Just had to say hello. I need to be hit by that storm hard. It's a pretty elongated ice and winter storm. What's up, Eric? How are you doing, bud? How are you doing? Yeah, no. So this is the ice storm, and I'm just loving the memes that people are making about this. Quite funny. What's up, Finn? Hello, Finn. Hello. Guys, be sure to tap your screens there, hit that follow button. We do have a couple things on the schedule today. Biden is securing 235 judicial confirmations, which is going to start at about 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we also do have a Presidential Citizens Medal ceremony coming in right around 5 p.m. Do you think we could see snow on Long Island? I mean, Long Island does get snow. This storm may not produce that much snow for you guys up there, but typically we see that late January, February, and early March that we see those northeast clippers. He is sitting on an ice storm. He is sitting on a giant ice and snowstorm that's going to span from Kansas to Virginia. So quite a long, elongated winter storm there, if you will. Again, Bourbon Street is about to reopen. This is a live look over at Syria. You gotta love Syria. But that is looking at Damascus over at Yamad Square. New Orleans is reopening. That Sugar Bowl is going to be getting started. Just looking at everything here, quite a bit going on in the world within the first 24 hours. And we do have some updates that were Oh, that's interesting. I guess there's a multi-victim shooting coming out of San Francisco, California, there on Bryant Street. 2 victims plus 1 assault victim. They requested a 3rd medic. So we look at the FBI, the good old Federal Bureau of Investigation. One hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. You know, yesterday we get told, hey, this is going to be classified as a terrorist attack down in New Orleans. And they're going on saying that they were looking into Las Vegas possibly being a terrorist attack. Both guys were from the same military base. Both rented a truck from Turo. One was an HR IT specialist. One was a Green Beret from Special Ops and Special Forces. So you got all these people talking, all these people thinking, what could be actually truly going on? Oh, we do have a briefing, guys. Coming up at 2 p.m., we're going to have a Cybertruck briefing as well. Speaking of the devil, they're holding what appears to be kind of like an emergency press conference here in about a half hour. We'll be covering it. You don't have to go anywhere. We're live on TikTok, Facebook, X, and also YouTube. Lots of stuff going on, but they're saying, well, we're turning the scene back to local police in New Orleans. If it was terrorism, or if they were going to classify it as terrorism, guy had an ISIS flag. Everyone that knew him said that they were going to be, that he wasn't making sense. He fell off the grid. He started talking a lot about the Islamic State, and that was it. And now all of a sudden this is going on. So they're like, hey, New Orleans, it's back to you. You gotta ask yourself a lot of questions, you know. But we have a couple stuff coming up here within a half hour. Quite a lot, actually. I wasn't expecting this much, so we will see how this all plays out. Oh, that's right. This was never signed in over there. That was this one. But again, this is a live look of Damascus over in Syria. We do have that reopening of New Orleans very shortly, though. That's going to take place extremely shortly, followed by President Biden doing his 235 judicial confirmations. Immediately breaking into that is going to be both. We're probably going to have to fade away from President Biden because we also do have the Superdome opening up. We have camera feeds coming in as well, so we have a live look at quite a bit of a lot going on. I'm going to send out that notification on Discord. Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in here. You guys are looking at a live look of Damascus. Good old Damascus. This is over in Syria, around the area that we did those 75 bombs, which was targeted towards the ISIS camps that they have over there and the weapons factories that they started to create. The Bourbon Street live shot should be coming up momentarily, guys. Should be coming up momentarily. We do have a new broadcasting suite here. It's very nice, very expensive, but very nice, which allows me to do this. The light could get bumped up a bit, you know. I kind of look like I'm on some sort of Joe Rogan podcast, you know. Oh, it feels a little dark in here once you look at the light. Figure it'd be a little bit brighter. And then we also and then also the White House just apparently posted a video on their YouTube. I'm seeing here. This is from the White House YouTube channel. That's a lot of masks. That is like, that's what? I mean, I don't quite get what this is. I don't quite get that. I don't get that. What's happening in Damascus? So there was some, this is where ISIS comes into Damascus. This is where they do their influential stuff, if you will. Because mind you, Syria, a lot of ISIS come from the Syrian regime up in there. But needless to say, they just had that president just completely leave, you know, and the regime kind of took over. So that is weird. Yeah, that's extremely weird. Extremely weird. I don't get that at all. Again, coming up here, any second here is going to be the reopening of Bourbon Street. Once that begins to start, we may have a second for the confirmations there for Biden. Yeah, so the feed that's behind me, I think that is Bourbon Street. That's what we should have being pulled up momentarily once it begins to flow over on our end. And then we do have a Cybertruck presser happening in about 29 minutes at 2 p.m. There is going to be a Cybertruck update in regard to that. Followed immediately during that will be also the Superdome, which is where in New Orleans the Sugar Bowl is going to be taking place right after all this. There's a lot that happened though within the first 24 hours, and last night into early this morning we did have that mass shooting take place up in Queens, New York at the Amazura nightclub with 11 people shot. If the video is from 2021, was it from 2021? Because that looked as if they put in the Harris campaigning B-roll. So it seems a little odd. Oh, is that not? I just saw your thing pop up. So we do have, it says here that Bourbon Street reopens after the incident took place in French Quarter. And this is coming in through Reuters, so we'll have that. Just waiting for the poll camera to come up. Well, why publish it now? Why all of a sudden publish it? Just seems weird. It seems very, very odd. Yeah, so it was the day of his inauguration is what it was, but why publish it on the YouTube channel of all of a sudden? It should have been something they did back then, not now. But anywho, it's creating a lot of speculation about a possible another mask mandate, given the fact that bird flu, H5N1, all this stuff is coming about. So lots of speculation there on the X articles. Yeah, it was drop their new video. Seemed strange. Yeah, it was weird. I like, why all of a sudden? That's my thing, is like, it's one thing if it was like a month or two later, that'd be one thing. Still kind of not professional to wait that long from the White House. But, you know. Oh, what? Interesting. Okay, so we are getting reports out of Brooklyn here. We're getting reports out of Brooklyn that a car has supposedly ran over a group of Jewish people. Getting this here. This is camera footage. Okay. Interesting. So, well, let me go ahead here and so you guys can see that a bit better. So this vehicle comes in, aims for them, and then runs them over and does not stop. Yeah, so this just happened not too long ago up in Brooklyn. Graphic warning. I should put that graphic warning. That is insane. That stroller just pushes away, you know. Super. I don't know what's going on anymore. I have no idea what is going on. I'm gonna get that published there in the Discord. Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to get some additional information. I'm gonna try to. So it happened on Tuesday. It happened on December 31st, which was Tuesday, and the NYPD is saying that it was not a hate crime, unlike what people are saying, and the driver, who was a 69-year-old man, was extremely apologetic. However, in May, a man was arrested on hate crime charges after doing the exact same thing. So I don't understand how the NYPD is saying this is an accident, but yet that all happened and the guy was arrested. I just put that out there as well. Oh, thank you, Patrice. Thank you. So we are okay. So everything is happening right now at like 2 p.m. So I apologize for this. I had my schedule ready for this. So Bourbon Street's reopening at 2 p.m. We have the Superdome that is going to start getting opened at 2 p.m. And we also have this Biden confirmation thing. I don't quite get this Biden confirmation thing, but it's on the schedule for today. We'll give it a go for a bit and see. I'm like, okay. I don't quite know what they're planning on this, so we'll figure it out, I assume. We will figure it out, I assume. Yeah, and the Cybertruck presser. So, I think our priority is going to be the press briefing at 2 p.m. for the Tesla Cybertruck incident in Las Vegas, and then also probably the reopening of Bourbon Street, and then when the presser's done, then we may squeeze in the Biden confirmations. I mean, what do you mean at 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have 4 live shots scheduled to come up at 2 p.m. 4 scheduled at 2 p.m. And mind you, we're still working on the new studio setup of everything. We are going to have the boxes are about this big. They're connected over the internet, and then they come out with fiber into the back of our mixer, so that way we can have all 6 live shots coming in. Right now we're limited to just 2 of them for the built-in stuff like what you see behind me, but we're working on that. It's like $900 for them, so it's a work in progress. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up at 2 p.m. And that's to say nothing else pops off and comes up, because you just don't know with how this year is going. It's just absolutely insane. And then also, Eddie, if you happen to be watching, I deeply, deeply apologize, but hold on, let me do something here, because I should be in this. Okay, so there is a 100% chance for the area of 6 inches or more of snow. Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, Delaware. We're going to see some snow, most likely. We're going to see some snow. And this is coming in, there's a winter weather advisory as well. These extremely cold temperatures are going to be moving in. There is that clipper coming across from Kansas to Tennessee, bringing a ton of snow and ice as well. Lovely. Yeah. So where you're looking at is probably going to be 80 to 90% chance of at least a half foot of snow or more. And that could also, mind you, it's the GFS ensemble at 126 hours. But Matthew Capucci is talking about it. This is his post here. He's really intelligent. I don't question him too much on his post, so we're gonna roll with it. I feel like it definitely does have that opportunity to produce a good bit of snow while you apologize it, because, well, I mean, I guess you don't have to worry too much now. Considering you're not running around on the Talladega Nights tires. In a front-wheel drive vehicle. Okay. What am I watching here? Okay, guys. So, this is a video that was just posted. It's going viral as well. You're gonna have to see this. Guys. This is how I picture Texas. Well, the solar flare, that really doesn't have issues with temperatures. I just love this. He takes his glasses off, and then all of a sudden he just kicks the gun away from him, and he just manhandles him. Yeah. Look at this. This is what I picture Texas. This is what I picture happening in Texas. He's like, not today, son. Takes his glasses off. Like, really? All of a sudden, he goes after a woman, and that's when this guy is like, oh, hell nah. And he just grabs him and yanks him around the store like he's a damn dog on a leash, you know? Somehow he gets half naked and runs, and then all of a sudden he just gets pinned up by some scientist-looking dude. Ugh. My, oh my. That's, like, fantastic. I don't know where that was. I don't quite know where that was. But and then this was a little earlier today. This was at the United States Capitol, where they shut down the road. There was a car driving erratically up and over the sidewalks. Now that was earlier today. I don't think it amounted much to anything, but people are not, you know, here's the thing. Pittsburgh, where the old studio is, Pittsburgh's going to be a giant target for this because of the former mayor, Bill Peduto. Bike Lane Bill, put in all these bike lanes, and you get sometimes 20, 30, 40 bikes in a line. What's to stop a pickup truck from just plowing right through all of them? You know? They're not protected in 90% of the city. They're right there where the van's parked, you know? So, just something to think about. We're going to see some stuff going down probably. Yeah, Bike Lane Bill. Yeah. He has a couple other names that's not good for media. We just won't talk about it. But yeah, and then this is also... This is that clipper that's going to be coming across from Kansas. Lots of ice. You know, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Illinois, even portions going up into Ohio, most likely, as that progresses north. Got to be careful. That's going to be a lot of mix, a lot of ice that's going to be coming in here. You cry. Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. I'm not that funny of a guy, I promise. So, and I think I'm that funny of a guy. Trust me, you're not that guy. You're not that guy. I love that video. So, Brad Spafford, Eddie, I think you may have posted about this, but this is the part of the 150 IEDs that were found on him, and they let him out on bond. And he's out free right now. So there's that. We're just waiting for one of the live shots to come up, guys. Pedro. Dang. Oh yeah. did you guys happen to see this? Did you guys happen to see? We missed it because we couldn't get our feed up from CNN, so we're kind of getting it on this like back burner portion. But did you guys happen to catch this?
2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off? Go for it. It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer. Or Moderna, whichever one's... Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look. No!
Okay, so the audio was a little low on that. Part of the thing that we got to test here.
2024 election.
But yeah.
The Democrats couldn't
How's it now? How's the audio?
They were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off? Go for it. It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's... Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look. No!
But yeah, so that happened. She made some jokes there about how the left, you know, she's a comedian, but oh my goodness. No, we're not using a Stream Deck. We are using TriCaster. We are using a TriCaster. we got it. We got more cables coming in, so it's like not what it needs to be, but it's feasible, it's working, and it's usable. It's usable. I am glad to be on a like real TV news studio, switching console and panel, and don't have to worry about OBS and all of that. Well, I'm still trying to figure out the white Stream Deck may be useful. Well, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna say the white one is now the small one and the black one is the large one, because that could be deemed as racist if I say the white one's more useful than the black one. And I don't want to come off that way because I was gonna say that, but I was not intended that way. I have one that has like 21 buttons and one that has like 9 buttons. The 9 buttons is all I need. I don't need the 31 button for what I'm doing. And I caught myself there. I was like, okay. I was like, whoop. I said something I probably shouldn't have, so we're gonna stop and rephrase that. Oh, could you imagine in like 10 years a clip comes out, can you believe Austin Ayers is racist? It's like, you took it out of context. I swear to God. Oh my, So for those who have been unaware as to what's been going on, this is what we have a press conference coming up about. This is the Cybertruck full of propane tanks and fireworks and mortars that just happened to go boom. So that is what the press conference is for, is that. Speaking of, pressure's up. Or pressure's coming up. Okay. I gotta do some stuff, guys. Give me a second here. We gotta clear this. We're gonna put you on 1. Yeah. Okay. So this should start to come across, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So yeah, it will. Right now we're just getting the feed in, so. This is, you guys are getting raw video. See, this is, when we go out for these pressers, we're like zooming in, making sure everything's good. Takes like a solid 30 seconds to get your connection back to the studio, like A plus. And plus, with all the amount of cameras there, you know.
Are you guys ready for a mic check? All right. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. This is Carlos. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Carlos.
We're good? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. We're good? Everybody good? Thumbs? Yeah, I don't think I can talk. So we're good? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good? En español. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You guys ready? All right. Good. I think you can take the paper down now. You guys good? With the white balance? You guys are good with white balance? All right.
Okay, so right now this is the Cybertruck presser that's going to be taking place. So as you see, the backdrop, which is the feed, sometimes it does have a little lag. That's typical. It's not like we don't have a direct connection like over microwave or satellite, for example, for this like a local station does. There we pull like most over the internet, so there's some packet loss. The updates that we're doing to the studio should fix that in the very end. Should. I'm shocked they don't have a mic tree set up. Really shocked. So they're all running shotgun mics for this. Okay, it looks like we're going to get some sort of PowerPoint as well, possibly. Again, guys, be sure to tap your phones, tap your screens if you're on TikTok, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, tap the subscribe button. If you're on X, hit the follow button here. Facebook, same. Right now, we're kind of just awaiting this and seeing what's going to be. Okay, so for those who are just tuning into this, this is the press conference for the Cybertruck incident at Trump Tower in Las Vegas yesterday. This is the raw feed coming in, and we do have some other stuff coming in as well. Okay.
All right, everybody, if we could all silence our phones, please. Thank you.
Silence or turn off, please.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kevin McMahill. I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and we are collectively here this morning to give you an update on the Cybertruck explosion at the Trump Hotel on Las Vegas Boulevard yesterday. Our work never stopped. As many of you went to sleep last night, and I just want to give you an update on a lot of what it is that we found through the processing of the Cybertruck. This is a joint investigation involving the FBI, the ATF, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and these folks worked through the night and found a lot of stuff that is very useful for this investigation. As you look at this Cybertruck here, we had to transport this down to our fleet services so that we could really get through this thing. And I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm, number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. Now, as you'll see here on a picture of his driver's license, let's see, the question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as the person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, his body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation 100% that that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle. And so as I'm calling it now, the subject or person of interest, I will not come back until I have the confirmation through DNA or medical records that this is indeed, in fact, the subject inside of the vehicle. Now, further complicating this identification of this individual, we also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle. Obviously, in how we're trying to identify him, and I'm feeling comfortable to give you this information, is a tremendous amount of substantial evidence to include he rented the Turo vehicle. There are 2 tattoos, one of which was on the stomach and one of which is on the arm, that we can see bits and pieces of it as in comparison to what it is that we now know he had on his body. That has given us a lot of confidence that this is, in fact, the same person. As well as the clearly obvious, which is the credit cards, the military identification, the passport. And then furthermore, as you'll see here in just a very short period of time, we tracked his movements from Colorado to Las Vegas, and in a number of the photographs that we were able to determine, he was the individual that was driving the vehicle. And also, I'd like to iterate this point to you. We still have only ever seen him in this vehicle, and we're not aware of any other subjects involved in this particular case. Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg, something that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation. And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles. As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD that he was indeed in the United States Army. He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant who spent most of his time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard and the Army Reserve. I'd like to point out to you that through exceptional joint investigative effort, we've gotten to a place where we believe we can show you his route to Las Vegas from Colorado, and Carlos will put up the map there for you. And we know that he rented the Cybertruck in Denver on December 28th. We tracked his movements through the Tesla charging stations to Monument, Colorado on December 30th. On the 31st of December, the truck was charged in Trinidad, Colorado, Las Vegas, New Mexico, and Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. On January 1st, the truck was charged in Holbrook, Flagstaff, and Kingman, Arizona. We last tracked the truck in Kingman at 05:33 yesterday morning. The truck was first spotted in Las Vegas at 7:29 a.m. yesterday. And Carlos will pull up a picture of the truck pulling onto Fashion Show Drive here. And that picture was observed at about 7:34 a.m. We know that he pulled into the Trump Valet, and I believe we have a video of that. You can see the Cybertruck highlighted there. So through extensive surveillance video, we were able to track him leaving there, and we know that he went to several different places along Las Vegas Boulevard, and he spent some time in a parking lot of a business near Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. We then have a video of the truck pulling back onto Las Vegas Boulevard from the Sands. You see that there? That's north on the boulevard from Sands at 8:39, where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurs within 17 seconds of his arrival at the valet. There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here, the first of which will be our Special Agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
Good morning. My name is Spencer Evans. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas Division. As the Sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies, to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our Special Agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's at the forefront of everyone's thoughts, and so looking into exactly what the motivation is remains our #1 priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important part of that acronym is joint. It is done in concert with our partners, which are comprised of more than a dozen investigative agencies here throughout the state of Nevada. We've been working hand in glove, side by side, tirelessly to determine, is there any ongoing threat to the public, to identify the subject, to determine any potential connection to other events going on in the world, most notably in New Orleans, and then obviously to determine if there's anything else that we need to be tracking down. At this time, as the sheriff's pointed out, we feel that the subject has been identified, although not conclusively, waiting for DNA evidence on that front. However, we do feel like we have the subject identified, and at this time there is no information about additional subjects that the FBI is tracking on. Our resources, as I mentioned, that have been deployed in support of this event include Special Agent Bomb Techs, our evidence response team, which is processing crime scenes, side by side with the forensics folks from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, our investigators, our intelligence analysts, and then outside of the FBI Las Vegas field office, we have investigative leads that are being conducted by FBI field offices both internationally and domestically as well. As always, when the FBI is involved with any sort of case like this, we ask for help for the public. Anyone with information related to this incident, we encourage you to please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. We've already received thousands of tips related to this incident. The challenge that we face moving forward is to separate those that are pertinent and relevant and those that can be verified from those that have not. For example, one of the tips that we received just today relates to information alluding to this subject's personal experiences related to his time and activity in the military. Again, that's unverified and uncorroborated, but one of many tips and leads that we will be following up in the days that come. If you have any additional information, again, encourage everyone, 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit it online, tips.fbi.gov. We will tirelessly work to exhaust all investigative leads and conclusively determine what the nature of this particular incident was, what the motivation was, and to the extent possible, share all that information as we obtain it. I'll now turn some time over to the Assistant Special Agent in charge from the ATF, Kenny Cooper.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kenny Cooper. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of ATF San Francisco Field Division. ATF is bringing our expertise in post-blast investigations and our crime gun intelligence to specifically assist in this investigation. I will tell you that our Special Agent Bomb Techs are working with FBI and with Las Vegas Metro and sifting through that post-blast debris to find components and investigative leads that will derive from that evidence process. We're too early into that investigation process to give any determination as far as how this device was initiated. I will say that we do know that the components primarily consist of fireworks, mortars, aerial shells, and are all consumer fireworks. Nothing commercial grade has been discovered at this point, and we've identified some fuel enhancers like the Coleman fuel and VP Racing fuel, and some explosive targets that can be purchased at any sporting goods store. We've also, as the sheriff mentioned, we've identified 2 semi-automatic handguns recovered from the Tesla. We have successfully traced those firearms, and I can tell you that Matthew Livesberg lawfully purchased both of these firearms on December 30th, 2024. We have agents following up those investigative leads. We know exactly where those firearms were purchased, and we will share any developments from those leads as they come in. Thank you.
We also have the Clark County Fire Chief here, John Steinbeck, and he didn't have any additional updates, but if there's any questions in regards to what the fire department did during this, he's here to answer those questions as well. With that, I'd just like to say before I take a couple questions from all of you, You'll notice that we're not releasing information that we haven't corroborated and verified. We're very well aware of all of the things that are going around on social media. But that's just the way we're going to conduct this investigation. We're not putting it out until we can tell you for a fact what information it is that we're putting out. And so we're going to continue to do that, but I'm also confident to tell the Las Vegas community and this great nation that we don't believe there's any further threat from this subject or anybody associated to him here in Las Vegas. With that, Denise, I saw you had your hand up. If you could just identify yourself, please.
Channel 3 in Las Vegas. Did this suspect have any other connection to Las Vegas? Had he ever been here before, or any reason to be here?
So the question was, did the subject have any ties to Las Vegas, or had he ever been here before? I do believe we had one instance a number of years ago where he stayed at a local hotel, but we're still trying to verify that information as well. Sir?
The David Charles, KLAS TV. There was, you have a gentleman in a Cybertruck Trump Hotel. There's information that the FBI was in Colorado Springs last night, possibly at this gentleman's home. Any information about why?
I think I'll let Spencer answer that question.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the motivation at this point is unknown. We are, as I mentioned earlier, following investigative leads both domestically and internationally as well. And so that includes search warrants and witness interviews, collecting forensic information, and basically trying to compile the facts. And so there's investigative activity taking place literally around the globe, trying to determine what the potential nexus is. But at this time, at this particular moment in time, as the sheriff aptly said, we have to focus on what we know and what we don't know. We know we have a bombing, absolutely, and it's a bombing that certainly has factors that raise concern. It's not lost on us that it's in front of, of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle, but we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology or any of the reasoning behind it. That's the purpose of the investigation that we're conducting, is to get to the bottom of exactly what happened, why and how.
Sir?
Tim Caputo with KBC in Los Angeles. You mentioned a number of similarities between this case and the one in New Orleans. How far in the investigation process do you guys go to try to rule out that they are connected, knowing that you already have a couple things that seem to connect them together?
So the question is how are we working to rule in or rule out any connections to the New Orleans event? And the answer to that is every tip and lead that comes in, every piece of evidence that comes in, we don't discount it, we work it through it. It's an interesting thing during these kinds of investigations that if these turn out to be simply similarities, very strange similarities to have. And so we're not prepared to rule in or rule out anything at this point. There's lots more for us to do in this investigation. We haven't even gotten into the phones or the computers, which are usually very, very instructive and informative to us as we investigate. And we've got a lot more work to do to trace him, to see the stores that he went to rule out anybody else. Lots of investigative work to do, and we're just trying to give you an update on what we know now that is factual.
Leo Yamat, AP. Was the gunshot wound to his head self-inflicted?
We believe the question was the gunshot self-inflicted, and we do believe it was, since he was the only person in the vehicle, and it occurred immediately prior to the vehicle blowing up. Back there, sir?
Yes, sir. Morgan Chesky, NBC News. With the evidence you've seen so far, are you comfortable now calling this a suicide mission?
The question is, am I comfortable calling it a suicide mission? I'm comfortable calling it a suicide with the bombing that occurred immediately thereafter. I'm not giving it any other labels.
And with the friends and family you've spoken to so far, have they shared any prior red flags?
The question is, did we have any of the family members share any particular red flags? Again, I'll go back to what I know is circulating on social media, but none of that has been verified at this point.
And final question, real quickly. All the components you found inside the Cybertruck, were they all purchased in Colorado?
The question is, were all the components found inside of the Cybertruck purchased in Colorado? And I don't know the answer to that. That's part of why we're doing the extensive part of the investigation.
Hi, O'Neill, Associated Press. Can you talk a little bit about the security measures you have in place at the hotel now?
So, as you all know, we had just successfully completed a New Year's Eve event where hundreds of thousands of people come to Las Vegas. I've extended our posture just like it is for a New Year's Eve event. where I have thousands of police officers that are working day in and day out. Obviously, dozens and dozens of people that are working on this investigation as well. We'll continue to look at what that security posture looks like, but I'm confident in the safety of our community as we move forward. Go ahead in the middle there.
Joe Mueller, Channel 13 here in Las Vegas, ABC. Did Luxembourg have any sort of criminal record at all? And also, do you know when that Turo vehicle was rented?
The question was, is there any criminal record? None that I'm aware of. That has not been brought to my attention that he had a criminal record. And I said that the Cybertruck was rented on December 28th in Denver, Colorado. Right here?
Hi, Stephanie Price, Fox News.
Hi.
Hi. Have you guys been able to verify that he checked into the Resort World Hotel the day before this?
The question is, do we know if he checked into the Resorts World the day before this? I'm not aware of that information. Sir?
Mike Allen, Fox 5 Vegas. You mentioned increased security presence at the Trump International. Is that going to extend further along the Strip, or is it just there? And how long do you anticipate that?
The question is generally about the security posture, and that's entirely our entire community, not only Fremont Street and the Strip, but surrounding neighborhoods as well, just to make sure that we have the community feeling that level of safety that they need to feel after an event such as this. Right next to you there.
Katie from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. How exactly were you guys able to use the charging stations to track the car's route?
The question is, how were we able to use the charging stations to track the vehicle all the way through? And I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question just yet. I know that there's some capability by being able to determine that the car is connected to the charger. One of the things that we're looking for is anybody that may have been at the charging location at the same time. We're looking to try to identify them because their vehicles would have also had cameras that would have taped anybody in and around them. We're trying to get people that may have been in the same locations at the same time that have video on their vehicle that could provide that video to us as well. I'll take two more. Go ahead.
Can you talk about the damage being contained by the Cybertruck itself, and do you think that plays into whether he was aiming to hurt others, or was it a public suicide?
Yeah, the question is about the Cybertruck and the lack of damage to the Cybertruck and containing the explosion. Carlos, if you could put that truck back up there, it might be helpful. But you know, you'll see if you look on the outside of that vehicle, it's hard to tell from that photograph, but other than the windows being gone, that's a bit more disassembled than it was at the scene, and the back area being blown off. There's no evidence of physical damage to the sides of that vehicle, and so the explosion that was in that vehicle sort of vented out and up, but it didn't even damage the glass doors at the Trump. So I'm not sure what that means. I also know that there's a number of unexploded pieces of the things that he had inside of that vehicle, and so I just don't think that it was done as well as he was expecting it to be done. But go ahead.
Sofia Rodriguez with Univision Vegas. I was wondering, were you able to recover the video from the Cybertruck, or was that destructive?
So the question is, are we able to recover the video from the Cybertruck? And many of you may know that those Cybertrucks contain a tremendous number of cameras. Again, Mr. Musk has sent out a number of his folks that will be arriving here this afternoon with the intent to try to capture the part of that captured all of the video from inside of the truck. Sir?
Just quickly, you had mentioned a number of the components in the back of the truck that did not go off. Maybe this is a better suited question for ATF, but when it comes to the rudimentary nature of the bomb, I think we mostly think of a bomb that is connected. This seems like individual kind of incendiary and combustible components put together. Can you speak to how you think this is a bomb, or was it just several pieces of things that might blow off and might explode that were just lit and gone off at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it does appear that it was, I just want to be careful with my language here, but the level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. That most of that, the materials inside that Tesla were fuel to help fuel a greater explosion. But it's too early to answer any question as if there was sophisticated connectivity to those components to make it ignite in the way that it did.
All right, there was one last hand over here. I'll take your last question.
Or maybe this is for Special Agent Evans, Mike Carter, Newsmax. Any idea if the suspect has been in touch with any outside terrorist groups? Has this investigation extended globally?
The question is, do we know whether the subject's been in touch with any outside terrorist groups or if it's been investigated globally? And Spencer, you want me to? Okay.
So the question about whether it's being investigated globally, absolutely. Like I said, we're running down investigative leads around the world. No information that we're aware of right now that connects this individual to any terrorist organization around the world. But that's obviously the thrust of the investigation, is ruling out that there's any sort of terrorism nexus, and then again, getting at what the ideology is.
We appreciate you all coming, and we will be back before you when there's substantial updates to provide to you. Thanks for all your great work.
Okay, so that was a lot more information than I had anticipated them to do. I figured that they would have been a lot more... I don't know how to say it. I was expecting them to be more... Oh, well, we can't answer that. We can't answer this. We can't answer that. They actually gave a lot of information, more than one would expect, actually. So that wasn't bad. I was expecting it to be a lot worse, you know? So, yeah, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. But pretty much they talked about it. They have, through Tesla, pretty much all of the tracks of the Cybertruck where it was getting charged at. They basically have his whole map. There's video they released of the guns inside. That was more than I had anticipated there. So right now you guys are looking at this is where the Sugar Dome, or I'm sorry, the stroking out, sorry, the Sugar Bowl at the Super Dome. There we go. More information because of the Hot Mess Express New Orleans. You know, probably, very likely, because, you know, New Orleans is backtracking on pretty much all of the stuff now. They're backtracking on pretty much all of the stuff, which was interesting to say the least. Very, very interesting that they said this and then all of a sudden take it back. You guys are looking at Bourbon Street here. This is Bourbon Street. You can see that there is a lot of police. We've seen FBI in the control room over here, and they are just walking about down Bourbon Street now. So, yeah, there's that. But I am going to be back. I'm going to leave this up here with the dual feed, let you guys see it. And I just have to run down and do some stuff. So I'll be back, guys.
to